Yeah, I mean, obviously we wanted to make sure we had a little bit more balance in our schedule this year, just as far as us feeling like we were going, with RPIs, just finding competitive games, but also making sure we're challenging ourselves by playing higher RPI teams. So yeah, but obviously in New England we have a sort of wide range, and it was good to be able to get, on the Ivy League teams on our schedule. So we got, Brown, Harvard, Dartmouth, along with all teams that are going to those places, but an opportunity to play, Holy Cross and University of New Hampshire, and up at Dartmouth I think we have Seton Hall and Hofstra. So teams that are good programs in the Northeast here. So it makes it nice for our travel schedule and everything to have an opportunity to play some quality programs without having to go too far away. So, but then to add Boston College, who I think finished number 80 in RPI last year after winning the newly formed volleyball NIT tournament. I think it's just a great opportunity to see a wide range of programs and just sort of get a good gauge of where we're at, what we need to do to continue to build. But also, give our girls an opportunity to really compete and take a step forward from where we were last year. Yeah, I mean, I think there are lots of people out there that want an opportunity to play Division I. So knowing that we weren't fully funded and we're sort of providing that opportunity to those players that maybe didn't get offers elsewhere or had walk-on spots elsewhere. With what little funding we had, we feel like we were able to go ahead and grab a more talented overall class, but just a deeper class as well. So we have 9 freshmen coming in that have been here practicing. It's been great. We're, size-wise, we're a lot bigger. 6 of our 9 are 6 feet or taller. And I think just the overall competitiveness in the gym has been phenomenal. Just to see, we lost 3 seniors, but then brought in 9 freshmen and didn't lose a single returner for any reason whatsoever. So. I think the returners saw the writing on the wall as far as, we're bringing in a big class, and they worked really hard. So, preseason practices have been fantastic. The competition has been great. So we're very excited to get the season started. Yeah, I mean, everybody, like I said, everybody did really good this off season of getting themselves prepared. So, Kristen De Lorenzo, who played libero for us, I think we've been talking a lot about simply being prepared, because we are going to make sure we are constantly putting the best lineup. But we need to make sure that our returners were very prepared to have to compete for their jobs. It's not necessarily theirs to lose. It's just really an open competition throughout preseason. So, but yeah, Kristen's definitely been one of our leaders. She's our captain, but even she understands that there's going to be opportunities for other people to jump into that position here and there. Obviously she doesn't want to give it up, so she's going to work her butt off to maintain it. But she's a great leader on the court. She's very vocal, and then it's obviously something that incoming freshmen have to learn, that skill of how to lead when they're on the court and how to make sure that they're saying the right things. So, her as a senior leader, being in there a lot, is probably going to continue. But yeah, outside of her, Gentry, one of our starting outside hitters, right now she's dealing with a bit of a shoulder injury. So, we're sort of playing that a little bit tight as far as not overworking her. Sort of seeing where that pans out to. Both of our starting middles are back, so we're excited for them, but we're also excited, Abby Farrell, our freshman middle who came in, has been showing a lot of promise at practice, and Leah, who's one of our returning middles who was not a starter for us necessarily last season, has been playing great in preseason. So we're just excited about the development of everybody. I think on the right side, Emma Graves and Lindsay Pearson returning, just that year of experience and knowing what to expect and knowing how to compete. Like, you can just see it in practice that they are no longer just thinking like, I have no idea if this is going to be good enough. Like, they saw what good enough is last year and they want to exceed that, so they've been working really hard in the off season. So yeah, overall just the level of competition in practice day in and day out has just been so much higher that we're very excited to get going. Yeah, I think overall, obviously the record doesn't necessarily show the individual sets. So, we had a few where we lost in 5 or we lost in 4, but even when we were losing full matches, it was fairly close, 25-23, 25-22. So we don't feel like we were very far away, but I think one of the biggest things we learned was at the Division I level, we can't give the other team as many points as we had been in the past with our own individual mistakes. So whether it's missed serves, too many missed serves, just sort of blocking lineup issues or defensive issues, or bad passing or whatever. But giving away those points just can't happen. At the Division I level, you have to be able to score, you know, right around on average 18 of your own points, and then the other team might give you 7 on a good day. So we have to learn how to score those points ourselves and not rely on the other team to make mistakes. Whereas I feel like coming from Division II, you play a lot of teams that were giving you 10, 12 points a set based on their own errors. So when we made those errors, it still came down to how many points you're able to score, but you didn't have to score as many, because the other team's going to score theirs, you're going to score yours, and then it came down to whoever made the most errors was going to probably suffer. So yeah, obviously last season, that's really what it was, is us making our own errors and not putting ourselves in a good position to be successful. So I think that's something that we learned a lot from, and we've been really working this off season to try to correct some of that, just as far as being in system on serve receive, recognizing how to get our feet properly to the ball so that we're putting up good free ball passes to run our offense. But then from a defensive standpoint, we've been really working on how to set up a better block, how to be a little bit more balanced when we're blocking, in order to put our defense in a good position to get good digs, but then be able to have our setters run the offense off of those transition passes, and put up hittable balls for us to swing at. So yeah, it's going to continue to be a learning process, but overall I think we're in a better position this year than last year, just because we have that season under our belt and we sort of know a little bit more what to expect, and that we can't give up. We can't have a big swing that we feel is really good and then give up because the other team dug it. Like, we have to expect that dig's going to happen because all the teams we're playing are really good. So now we have to be prepared to reset, get back into defense, and put up a good block to be able to continue play. Opening weekend, again, we're sort of going to throw in a bunch of different lineups. Playing against ourselves is great. We had a real competitive inter-squad scrimmage, but we still, as much as we think we have what we think is going to be our starting lineup, everything's going to be fluid for this first weekend. So, I expect us to simply go in, do our best to be competitive, and see where it goes. But I do expect a lot of moving pieces. Sort of putting people in and seeing how they react, and then switching it up maybe the next set. But we're obviously going to want to find some continuity through these first 4 weekend events that we've got going on, a couple of weekday matches until we get to our conference schedule. But really the conference schedule is really what we're overly focused on as far as getting prepared for those. Like the non-conference stuff is great. It would be great to win some matches and have our RPI go up, but really that's not the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is be prepared for conference matches and give ourselves an opportunity to, now that we are eligible for the playoffs, make the playoffs this year and go from there. So.